Hi, this is Stacia, and I wanted to share another miniature game. This is the third in my series of miniatures, which are games that are 25 moves or less, is how I'm defining that. And I'm playing fast time controls here. So this was indeed a blitz game where I played the black pieces against Size Me 1212. Rated 1420, and my blitz rating at the time was 1426. Okay, and wanted to share this game because it's got so many tactics in it, and they're probably themes in this particular opening. So this is really good especially for me to review these themes and make sure that I'm looking out for these next time I play the opening. All right, so it started with one E4, and I played D5, the Scandinavian. He took, and now I've been playing this new kind of Scandi, Knight F6. Well, new for me, but it is called the modern Scandinavian, intending to recapture with a knight here. And my opponent played a rare move. They played Knight C3. And I call it rare because it is in theory, but honestly, I see this quite a lot. And even got it over the board on Tuesday, even. So, okay, this is now transposed into the Alekhine Scandinavian exchange variation. Okay, and the best move is definitely to take. And now I see white take a lot, but this is actually a slight mistake because now my queen is centralized, which sometimes is bad because of knight c3. But guess what? There's no knight c3. This is actually totally fine for black. And the computer says the position's equal. So, okay. But my opponent didn't do that, which is correct. He played bishop c4. This is the correct book move. I did recall knight b6, so we're retreating the knight and attacking. The bishop pulls back, and now knight c6, and we're still in book here. And my opponent played the main move, which is knight f3. So here, I made a mistake that I basically blundered. Okay, so I made a move that loses the game, but neither one of us caught it. So strange enough, in theory, there's only one move, and that's bishop f5. Makes sense. We want to play e6, and we're going to develop the bishop outside the pawn chain. I had the same idea, but I thought I would go bishop g5, a little more aggressive, pinning the knight to the queen. But here, do you see a good move for white? If you'd like to, pause your video. Very thematic tactic. Okay, and the tactic is bishop takes f7 check. And honestly, I saw this a move later. I didn't even know it was possible here, right after bishop g5. But it is, because if I take, notice that the knight often comes to e5, but this wouldn't work. I would just take it. But instead of that, the knight has the g5 square, and the queen is still attacking this bishop, which is undefended. And yeah, I don't know, king g8 and this. And I don't think you want the black pieces in this position. We're a pawn down. We've got an isolated pawn. We've got an awkward setup here. Computer says plus 1.7 for white, but honestly, this looks almost lost, if not lost already. So there you go. So yeah, I think my first critical lesson is don't play bishop g4 in this variation. And I'll need to remember to watch out for bishop takes f7 check ideas when the bishop's here on b3. All right, but my opponent didn't play that. They played h3. And I pulled back my bishop and I was like, does he have bishop takes f7 check? So I saw this a little later after I already blundered. But the answer is no, he doesn't, because now my bishop's defending, and I could just take. So that would be fine. Although I am curious. A lot of times you're supposed to take the knight in this type of thing, so computer is recommending bishop takes f3. So let's have a look at this too. I'm not sure I totally understand, because we are gifting white the bishop pair in this case. So after queen takes, I mean, not only that, but this looks like, why, why allow that? I don't know, but e6, and white's slightly better, but it's no big deal. Computer just wants to go like knight e2 now. Oh, for white. Knight e2 and probably, yeah. I noticed the computer really likes a5 in this kind of situation, just annoying the bishop. All right, but let's head back. After h3, I chose not to take. I think the reason this isn't so good here is because white has not committed their king. So they actually get this nice little thrust for free if they want. And then they can still go queenside. So I'm thinking that's the reason. But my opponent went d3 here first. And I played e6. Okay, fair enough. And then knight e4 was played. I don't like this move, knight e4. It seems premature to me. I always think of the opening as a race for development, and this does not develop. It just moves the knight again, and I'm not sure for what reason. I mean, I guess this, I don't know. Not a good reason to do that, I don't think. That being said, I do the same thing, knight d4. I had good reason, though. My reason is I'm attacking the pinned piece, and I'm threatening to take the bishop pair. Maybe the only reason to not play this move, though, is g4. g4 is strong here. But I did win the bishop pair. I took this. And after here, I can just go to g6 now. And the only downside of that exchange is that I did open their rook up. But I have the bishop pair. So, yeah, I like my position here, even though white is probably slightly better still. Okay, and now I guess I sort of have a threat. I have the threat to take the knight, followed by pawn takes, queen takes, check. I don't know how much of a threat that actually is. Let's take a look at the computer eval here. Like, let's see. Let's say white makes a normal move. What's a normal move? Well, I guess all normal moves like kind of cancel that threat. Like if I go bishop d2, then I don't have the same threat. And if white castles, which I think is okay to do here, then this isn't a good move anymore, because I'm behind in development. And now if I take the queen, the rook's going to come to the center, so I'm just helping white. So, okay. Yes, this isn't even a threat in reality. But my opponent retreated the knight, so I guess that's fine. The computer likes this move, although I'm not totally certain why that's any good. Okay. So now I need to develop and castle. So I played bishop b4. Computer actually likes a6, probably just stopping the knight from coming into b5, and also the rook won't have as much meaning on this file. But this is okay. And then my opponent went bishop f4, developing their bishop. And now again, same theme. I decided to attack the pinned piece and the bishop again. Kind of funny. So this happened twice. Now this time, my opponent retreated and defended the pin, which I think is very reasonable and is what I expected. And then I played a pretty interesting move, Queen f6. And here's another key moment of the game. Before I make a move like Queen f6, I really should make sure everything's working out. My idea was to attack the pin piece a third time. Because I'm basically threatening like takes, and maybe I'll have a better position. I don't know. Also, I'm kind of eyeing this knight, so if the queen ever moves, I will take it. But I missed that white actually has knight takes d5 here. And I missed a very similar tactic in another game I played recently. So I need to really watch out for this type of thing. So the knight unpins, and it's not really unpinning because the bishop's there, but is attacking my queen with tempo. So here I can take with check. And notice white cannot take with the queen because I would grab here. So they would have to take with the king, and that would have to be in my calculation. And I guess this is okay, but it's not what I had in mind. So it's really only just luck that this worked out for me still. I do want to check really quick if there's anything better. Yeah, bishop takes d2 with check is what saves me here. Otherwise, I'd be in real trouble. So that was the best way for white to handle it, and it does bother me that I did not see that. But okay, they played a pretty interesting move, bishop g5. Yeah, here we go, bishop g5. And I've seen this tactic before too in a similar opening. So my retreat squares are covered by the bishop, and pretty much my queen is trapped. I can't go here, I can't go here. This is covered by the knight, this is covered by the knight. And it's just by dumb luck that I happen to have let's see. I can take here with the bishop with check, but the move I liked better and the one I chose was knight takes c3. And very interesting, right? This is very tactical because now I'm doing the same thing. I'm attacking the queen here. And so he did go ahead and grab my queen. I grabbed his queen. But now the problem is that after he grabs my knight, I win the bishop. And I'm up a piece. And my opponent did resign here. But very sloppy game on my part. This could have been either of our I mean, the way we play it, it could be anybody, but yeah, I do think it's important to look at games that have these tactics, especially early in the opening or early in the middle game. So I'm gonna go through it quickly one more time to show the key moments of the game. So this is the Alekhine Scandi exchange variation. We followed theory here. And yeah, right here, I need to sound an alarm bell in my head. I cannot play bishop g4 here because it loses on the spot to bishop takes g7 check, followed by knight g5 instead of knight e5. So, yeah, that is probably one of the most important things to remember. And now here, seems like taking the knight is better. We don't want to give them g4 for free. We do give up the bishop pair, but yeah, and here it's okay. That's not a threat because of this. But still, attacking the pin piece. Computer didn't even like this move. It's suggesting to just play bishop e7 or go a5 with the idea of a4. Okay, but I went ahead for this and bank the bishop pair, but open the rook. Yeah, and here I really think white should just castle, but okay, this is fine. Um, Pinning the knight again. And yeah, here, I didn't even consider this move h5. I didn't mention this earlier, but this undermining move is a common theme. Um, yeah, and I was just thinking it does create a threat to take on g4 because this pawn is pinned and the rook's hanging behind it. So, okay, the other thing I like is after h4, let's say knight e5, there's also stuff like let's see. I was going to say queen d4 or queen d5 rather. Yeah, interesting move. The knight is pinned, so it cannot take the queen. So we're utilizing the pin and attacking the rook. And white could castle. Well, let's see. I think this kind of thing. Gotta retreat the bishop, otherwise the king side gets destroyed. So, and then maybe here. Yeah, and this is interesting. I don't love black's position though, to be honest. And computer is saying, yeah, +1 for white in this position. Okay, sorry, I can't stop myself from analyzing. All right, so I attacked the pin piece, and this time he retreated and defended the pin. Yeah, and this move queen f6. So I need to start sounding an alarm bell in my head as well, and you should too. When you see a queen on f6 and a knight on c3 or this kind of configuration, because there are going to be tactics like this one, which even though it doesn't totally work out here, the fact that I did not see it and therefore did not calculate it is scary and could lose games for me. So it's only by luck I had this move to save it. Well, of course, my opponent didn't play it anyway, but let's get to the last one. Yeah, and I didn't calculate this either. So when I play queen f6, I need to calculate moves like knight takes d5 and bishop g5, and only then play queen f6 when I have a refutation. And in this case, there is a refutation. Knight takes c3, attacking their queen. They take, or I'm sorry, they didn't take. They played here, taking my queen. Now I take their queen. That was the plan. And after king takes, I was able to win a piece. So, yeah, very interesting game. Yeah, my opponent played c3, but then resigned. So, 18 move game, very interesting tactical game, interesting opening. Definitely a lot to learn from analyzing blitz games. So, I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. And yeah, have a great day. Thank you. Bye.